Good evening, ambassadors. Good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ambassador Rita? Amazing. Ambassador Obi and Kamso, it is good to have you here. Who is excited? If you're excited to be in this session, I want to see your emojis. Tell me that you're excited by putting in your favorite emoji on the comment section. As you do that, let's see what our YouTube friends, how they are doing. Yes, keep it coming, keep it coming. All right. So as you are doing that, I want you to take a moment to go call your friends. If they are not here, call your brothers, call your sisters, your cousins. Tell them that we've started, okay? Tell them we've started, and today is a wrap-up session on our financial literacy series in the month of June.
Yay.
So go.
We are live. We're live.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Yes, we are live. We are live. Okay. Go call your friends. Tell them that we are live today. Okay, Ambassador Rita, I can see your emoji. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ambassador Chindike. We have started the session. Okay, we've started. Who can tell us what we've been discussing throughout the month of June? What have we been talking about?
Financial education.
Financial education. Amazing. Financial education. Yes, Ambassador Rita says we've been talking about finances. Finances. That is just fantastic. Okay, so who can tell us? So today is a feedback session. Okay, it's just like a wrap up. So it's going to be more conversational. Okay, so I'll ask you questions, you give us feedback. If you also have questions, this is an opportunity for you to ask your questions. Okay, Ambassador Obi and Kamso said we talked about insurance. Great. See, this series has been loaded, isn't it? It's been amazing, amazing. Okay, I remembered when we started off, who can tell us the three things we said financial literacy is all about? The three M's. Can you remember? The three M's of financial literacy. What is it? I want to hear you in the comment section. The three M's of financial literacy. Anyone? So which of the M's can you remember? Which of the M's can you remember? Okay. Achieve financial goals. Okay. Yes. So we said one of it is what? Making money. Making money. Isn't it? Right? Okay. So making money was the other one. Okay. Managing money. Good. Managing money. You make money, you manage money, and what's the third one? That was the third one. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. You multiply money. Good, good. That's it. Investing money is the same thing as what? Multiplying money, right? Multiplying money. So you remember these three M's whenever we are talking about financial literacy, okay? We are making money. We have also learned how to manage money and then how to multiply money by what? Investing in our monies. All right. So speaking about making money, how do we earn? You can tell me, how do you earn money? How do you earn money? Okay. Yes. By saving the little you get. By doing jobs. Okay. So the saving part is not the saving part is not the making money part. Okay. So we are coming to that. All right, Ambassador Rita. So by doing jobs, okay, what kind of jobs? What kind of jobs? Yes. Okay. How do we make money? How do we make money? Okay. So I want to check out our YouTube friends, what they are saying. Okay. By doing jobs, by earning, right? So mommy and daddy could give you allowance. So that's another way you can earn money. So which other way? You might also have something that you are selling. Maybe you are selling a book. That's how you make some profits. We make money by working and reading. Okay, you make money by working and by reading. I'm trying to understand the reading part. Okay, is it like you have a reading club where people pay you, something like that? Okay, so these are some ways we can earn money. Okay, we also said that sometimes you can do an extra work at home. Perhaps if cleaning the car is not your daily chore, you can clean a car and your daddy or your mommy can give you an extra pay. You can even babysit, right? Your younger ones, maybe for an hour or 30 minutes, then your parents can pay you for that. Those are some of the ways we can earn money. Good. So, can someone tell me another way? What are the ways to manage our finances? How can you manage your money? Now you've known how to make money, so how can you manage it? How can you manage your money? Okay? How can you manage your money? Ambassador Chimdike, how can you manage your money? Yes, Grace Moses, we just started. Yes. So we are asking, how can you manage your money? Okay, Ambassador Rita says by saving, needs versus wants, avoid impulse buys. Fantastic. You avoid impulse buying, isn't it? I am excited that we have learned how to avoid impulse buying. So it means we have the self-control skill, right? We discussed that in one of our classes, that for you to avoid impulse buying, that you need self-control. Good. Ambassador Obi and Kamso says, budgeting. Budgeting is the highlight of managing our money. Fantastic. Okay. Grace Moses. Okay, you Ambassador Michelle. Great, 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 great. You are welcome. So Ambassador Michelle, tell us one way you can manage your funds. Good. We manage it by savings. Good. So speaking about managing money, who can remind us of the principle that we learned to budget our finances? Can you remember that principle? What's that principle? What are those percentages? How you can manage your finance, how you can budget your money when they come to you? Okay. We manage our monies by savings. Okay. So Ambassador Michelle, what is the rule? What's the principle for budgeting? So if somebody gives you 1 million naira, how will you budget it? What percentage goes to what? Okay. Okay, so what's that rule? The good, amazing, amazing. Ambassador Rita says 50% for need, 30% for want, 20% for savings. Yes. So that's the 50-30-20 rule. Great. 50-30-20 rule. And we also learned that this is not cast in stone, isn't it? It's just a guide. So that when your money comes in, you know exactly what percentage goes to what, right? We are also taught that since our parents are the ones getting all our needs, right? We should save more, isn't it? We should save more. Fantastic. Well done, Ambassador Rita. Well done. Okay, I've seen Ambassador Michelle. She said you can use the 50-30-20 rule. Good. Amazing. Okay, so someone should tell us examples of needs. Example of needs. Okay, go to the comment section. What are examples of needs? Need. What are the examples of needs? Needs. Nice. We have water, shelter, food. I give it up to you, Ambassador Rita. Our YouTube friends, I'm yet to receive your responses. Examples of needs. Okay. So we also saw that needs are things that we cannot do without. Yes. Clothes. Fantastic. Thank you, Ambassador Michelle, Ambassador Obi, and Kamso. You can't do without what? Needs. They are basic necessities of life. You need them to survive. That's why we call them needs in the first place. Okay, Alabi says we need air. Exactly, we need air. So these are what? Needs. You cannot do without them. All right, so moving over to wants. What are the examples of wants? Example of wants. I see you, Malobo. I see you and I see your response, okay? And that is correct. So we are moving over to examples of wants. Devices, sweets, TV. Yeah, we have jewelry, hats. Keep it coming. Video games, candy, vacation. These are what? Wants. Fantastic. These are wants. These are wants. Ambassador Michelle says extra cars, extra houses, luxury. Luxury. Yes. Thank you for putting those thoughts down, and they are all correct. So we have learned to differentiate between needs and wants. Okay? The wants are something that we can let go. We can actually do without them. We can actually do without video games, isn't it? We can do without sweets. We can do without TV. We can do without candy. Right. And we have learned how to make smart money choices. We have learned how to make smart money choices. Fantastic, fantastic. So, can anybody tell us what insurance is? Insurance. You know, we learned many things in these 4 weeks. We learned a lot. We learned a lot. Insurance? What does it mean? Okay. Ambassador Michelle, Alabi, Malobo, I'm calling you so that I want to hear from you. Titilayo, what do you understand by insurance? You've heard the word insurance. What does it mean? Okay. What does it mean? Insurance. Have you heard about the word before? Alabi says protection of financial loss. Good, good. You're protecting yourself from what? Financial loss. Good. That is what insurance is. Okay. Ambassador Michelle says insurance is a policy which covers expenses for damages incurred by accidents. Isn't that just amazing? I'm super duper proud of you, PDAC ambassadors. It's a policy which covers expenses for damages incurred by accidents. And we saw that nobody actually plans for accidents, isn't it? It just happens. But you need an insurance so that you'll be able to cover for those damages. Fantastic. Fantastic ambassadors. I'm super proud of you. Ambassador Rita says insurance is a way to protect yourself from unexpected events. That is so true. Insurance means is a financial project plan. Ambassador Chindike. All right. All right. I'm super proud of your responses because it shows that you've been listening. All right. Who remembered that we also discussed saving versus savings, right? One has an S, the other one doesn't have an S. Yay, I'm seeing me, all right? We talked about saving versus what? Savings. Okay, so tell me, What's the difference between saving and savings? What's the difference between saving versus savings? Mm-hmm. Saving versus savings. Okay, what does it mean? Saving? Do they mean the same thing? They don't mean the same thing, isn't it? So what's the difference? Who is ready? Who is ready? Who is ready to tell us the difference between saving and savings? Okay. All right. So Malobo says saving is a doing, and saving is where you put the money. All right. Okay. Saving is a doing, and savings is where you put the money. Okay, so let's see what Ambassador Rita says. She says saving is putting aside money for short-term goals. Then savings is putting aside money for long-term goals. That is just amazing. Okay, so let me also read Ambassador Michelle. She said saving is the act of keeping or putting away money for future use, while savings are the money being kept or saved for a long period of time for investment or use. So Ambassador Michel, your definition is the same thing. It's one and the same, but you're talking about long term. Okay. So while saving without an S is putting out some money for short-term use. Then savings is what? Saving money or putting money away for long-term use. So one is short-term, the other one is long-term. Did you get that? Thank you, Ambassador Chindike. That was apt. Okay. So before I invite Coach Victor, thank you for being here. I want to ask one last question. Then Ambassador Victor will take over from here. Okay. We talked about good debt and bad debt. Give us an example of good debt, an example of bad debt. All right? Example of good debt, an example of bad debt. All right, so keep it coming, ambassadors, keep it coming while Coach Victor take over.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for standing in the gap. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Okay, so let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Alabi said, saving means setting aside money to avoid expenses, while savings is the amount of money that has been saved for the future. That is amazing. Exactly what it means, the difference between saving and savings. Ambassador Shimdike said, saving is the act of setting aside money, while savings is the amount of money you have saved so far. So saving is the act of putting aside money, while savings is the money you have, put aside. And who can tell me what is the main purpose why we save? Can someone tell me what is the main purpose? Why do we save? Why not just spend the money as it comes? Why not just enjoy all the money? Why do we save? Can someone please give me a good reason why we save? Why do we save? Why do we save? I'm waiting for the answer. Why do we save? Okay, no one has given me the answer yet. Why do we save? Alabi said, so we can save up for better things we need. Okay, nice. Malobo said, we save for future needs. Okay. Ambassador Rita said, we save in order to achieve our financial goals. Obi and Kamso said, we save so we can get good education. Okay. Keep it coming. I need others. Why do we save? Why not spend the money as we earn it? Okay, so the main reason why we save is for the future. We save for the future. The book of Proverbs told us that we should go and study the ants. I don't know if you know ants, those little creatures you see at home, those little ants. Proverbs said, when you study the ants, you realize that they always save for rainy season because they know that once it starts raining, they can't go outside to get food. So what they do is during summer, they stock up food, a lot of food that will serve them throughout the rainy season. And King Solomon told us, go and study the ants. They save for the future. They don't wait for emergency before they start saving. They don't wait until something bad happens before they start looking for money. No, they save. They save. Do you get that? So that is one of the reasons why we save. All right, good. So now we have learned about financial education this month, okay? And it has been an amazing month. So the question I want to ask is, what are the main things you learned from this financial education series? Can you just put them all together and paste it on the comment section? What are those things that you learned? The things that you will start doing with what you learned throughout this month. I need practical answers. What are the things you will start doing based on all you have learned in this financial education series? So I need practical answers. Michelle said, we save to avoid financial embarrassment when the need arises, and we save for the future. Yes. Malobo said, what is financial embarrassment? It means when you get to that point where you are supposed to use money to solve a particular issue, but because you did not have the money, you feel, just imagine, for instance, you are going to pay rent and you have not been saving for your rent. When your rent expires, your landlord is not going to take any excuse. You must pay your rent. And failure to pay your rent, embarrassment comes. You'll be embarrassed. You'll be insulted because you are owing. And once you are owing someone, you don't have any say. The person can talk to you anyhow. The person can harass you. The person can make your life so uncomfortable. That is why we are being advised not to go into bad debt. Because when you owe someone, oh my God, the person will not give you peace. Every now and then your phone is ringing. When the person sees you along the way, it's nagging you until you pay. until you pay. So that's what financial embarrassment is all about. The little things you're supposed to do with money, but because you don't have the money, you start begging. You start bringing down yourself because you don't have the money. Not as though you don't have the money, but you did not save. It takes discipline to save. Okay. So what are the things you learned? Malobo said, I learned about saving versus savings, budgeting, good debt versus bad debt, insurance. Okay. So what are you going to do with what you have learned? What will you do? Alabi says, saving up. Okay, Alabi said, the things I will do is saving up, which I'm already doing, and buying the things I need. Okay. So Alabi said he will start saving up. This is a practical step he's taking. He will start saving. So what are you going to do with what you learned from this financial education series? Will you still borrow money unnecessarily? Will you spend anyhow? Will you open up a savings? It could be a savings account or a piggy bank where you save money for the future. Will you write down your financial goal? Do you even have a financial goal? It all starts with a financial goal. What is your financial goal? Because when you don't have a financial goal, so what are you saving for? When you don't have a financial goal, the question is, what are you now saving for? If you know, okay, I want to get a new keyboard and the cost of that keyboard is 50,000, then your financial goal is to save, let's say for 3 months, in order to save up 50,000. So that is a goal. So every now and then you are tracking your goal. Oh, I've saved up to 10,000. All right. It's remaining 40,000. You keep saving. Oh, the money has gotten to 30,000. Wow. It's remaining 20,000. You keep saving. That is financial goal. Once it gets to 50,000, good. You move immediately and buy the keyboard. You have accomplished that. Then you set another financial goal. Oh, I want to get this particular textbook and it costs 5,000. So I need to save for 2 weeks in order to achieve this financial goal. That is a practical step. Okay. Michelle said, I'm going to apply it while growing up. All right, I don't understand what that means. Malobo said, to practice what I learned. So what did you learn and how are you going to practice it? That is the question. You can see Alabi said, I will start saving up. So that is a practical example of what you are going to do. So we are not just stopping at teaching you financial education. We want to see you practicing what you are being taught. Knowledge is not power until you apply the knowledge. I repeat, knowledge is not power until you apply that knowledge. So if you learn all you need to learn in this life and you are not applying what you are learning, you don't have power. You don't have power. The power comes when you apply it. Oh, we have taught you how to save. You know how to save. But if you don't start saving, the knowledge is as good as useless. That is why you must practice what you are being taught. Each and every one of you must have a financial goal. You must have a financial goal. By the end of this month or by the end of next month, how much do you want to save? By December 31st or before Christmas Day, how much do you want to save? What do you want to use the money for? All right. Okay, so I'm still waiting for responses. because I've not gotten enough response of what you are going to do with what you learned. Today is recap, so I'm not teaching anything. I'm meant to read out your feedback, okay? So you need to tell me what you are going to do. Malobo said, I saved 10% of my money this month. Beautiful. You see that? That is a practical example. He saved 10% of his money this month, not next month. He did not say, I will save 10%. He said, I saved, past tense. That means he was able to apply what he was being taught. And now he has saved up 10%. So he's better than those that don't have savings at all. Now, if he wants to get something and the 10% he save can cover that, he will easily do it without any issue, without any restriction, because it is his money. He has saved it. He can use it. Okay, thank you so much, Malobo. I love that practicality. I love that practicality. Okay, so I need more feedback. I need more feedback. What will you do? I know this month we talked about what are the topics? What are the topics we covered this month? Let me quickly take a look at it. We talked about passive income. Yes, talked about passive income. Talked about insurance, investment, and mindset. So, have you changed your mindset? Have you changed your mindset? These are the feedback I need to get. What is your mindset after taking part in this financial education? What is your mindset? Do you still have the poor mindset, or have you started developing a rich mindset? Do you still speak lack? Oh, I don't have this. I cannot do this. I am not this. Are you always speaking negative, or have you learned how to speak positive words? How to speak positive affirmations? I can do this. I can afford this. I can be able to save up this amount. Michelle said, I will learn to avoid impulse buying and learn how to save 20% of any money I get. Now, this is a practical feedback. Thank you so much, Michelle. Avoid impulse buying. That is the main thing that takes your money away, that siphons your money. Impulse buying, you don't need this thing, but you just want to buy it. You see gala, you buy gala. It's not as if you have not eaten breakfast, or you don't have food at home, or you don't have food you are taking to school. But because you have the money, you see gala, you buy gala. You see ice cream, you buy ice cream. You see sweet, you buy sweet. You see chocolate, you buy chocolate. What are you doing with those things? What? You already have food. So why are you buying those things? You are wasting money. You are wasting money. That is impulse buying. You don't need them. You don't even think. You just move immediately. Someone gives you 1,000. You are meant to save, let's say, 10%, which is 100 naira. But the moment you see snacks, you buy snacks. With that 100 naira you are meant to save, you move ahead. You see Pepsi, you buy Pepsi. Move a little again. You see ice cream, you buy. Before you know, you have spent the 1,000. You can't give account of how you use this money wisely. Okay. Malobo said he also tithed 10%. He pays his tithe 10%. That is amazing. That is amazing. And this is a mindset I want each and every one of you to have. 10% of everything that you have belongs to God that gave it to you. If God has not given you that money, you won't have it in the first place. So you return 10% back to God, which is your tithe. You are giving it back to him. Not because God needs that money, not because God is hungry, but it's a sign of stewardship. You are showing God that I am grateful for giving me this and I am giving it back to you. And when you do that, God will give you more. God will give you more. That source through which that money came, more will be coming. God can now trust you with bigger amount of money. Maybe you started with 500 naira and you are paying your tithe of 50 naira. God sees that you are consistent. He increases it to 1,000. You pay your tithe of 100. He increases it to 2,000. You pay your tithe of 200. That is how you are moving from one level to another level. Okay? That is amazing. Neo said, I spent 45% and I am saving 65%. Neo, you said you spent 45% and you are saving 65%. If I add up 45 plus 65, I will be getting 110. So that percentage ratio is not correct. It's either you are spending 40% and saving 60%, or you are spending 45% and you are saving 55%. All right, so that when you add them up together, you will have 100%. So well done, well done. I can see this person. Your name is Player One. I don't really know your full name, but from my chart, I can see Player One. He said, I will start saving up 20% of my allowance and income. That is amazing. I will start saving 20% of my allowance and income. Remember that savings takes discipline. Not when you save today, tomorrow you are tempted to go and spend it. No. That is why you should either have a piggy bank, put it somewhere that you cannot easily go there and take it. Because what's the need if you put the money where you can always see it, and then maybe you save it for 1 week and you go back and take it and buy something that is not useful? Then you can't call that savings. All right. That is why you must be disciplined. I'm going to save for 3 months. And for that 3 months, you will stick to your plan. No matter what happens, you stick to your plan. That is how mommy and daddy is able to take care of you, because they have savings. They have savings. So when it's time to pay school fees, they are not racking their head. They are not running helter-skelter. They've saved your school fees down. So it's not an issue. All right? When it's time to buy you clothes, they've saved it down. But when you don't have saving, your head is spinning. Your head, you are thinking of, oh, what can I do? What can I do? And then you resort to begging, which is not good. All right. Okay. Angela, you are welcome. You are welcome. All right. So, last question. Last question. We talked about mindset. Nobody has said anything about mindset. Nobody has said anything about mindset. Yeah, Judith, you are welcome. So what did you learn from mindset when we talked about the rich mindset and the poor mindset? What did you learn? Because mindset is very important. Your mindset determines how far you will go in life. In fact, you are where you are because of your mindset. You are who you are because of your mindset. Proverbs said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. Okay? So your mindset reflects your reality. If you have a poor mindset, you can't be rich. Wealth starts from the mind. Riches start from the mind, not the money in your account, not the money in your saving. What makes you rich is your mindset. Player One said, I am not going to go into bad debts, that is borrowing. I will make sure to use insurance on my property. Beautiful. I will create a savings account to make sure I put money aside for future whenever I have been credited my allowance. Amazing. Well done. Player one, please, what is your name? Can you type your name in the comment section so that I can address you by your name? Okay. So Malobo said rich versus poor mindset. So what do you understand by rich versus poor mindset? And which mindset are you now working with? Are you still with the poor mindset or have you changed to the rich mindset? So while I'm waiting for your response, Ambassador Chimdike said, I will save 10,000 for a month. That is amazing. That is amazing. Remember, your goal must be smart. Your goal must be smart. And one of those smart is relevant and achievable. So if you are going to set a financial goal, make sure it is achievable. For instance, you can't tell me you want to save 1 million in a month when your allowance is 1,000 naira. How many times will you save 1,000 for you to get to 1 million? So you see, your goal must be achievable. If you know that your allowance is 500 naira, for a month, you can say, okay, I want to save up to 5,000, 3,000. That is achievable, is within your scope. Don't set an extraneous goal that you know you might not be able to achieve. All right, good. Michelle said, I am with the rich mindset. Beautiful. Malobo said, rich mindset is more like having a positive attitude, while a poor mindset is the opposite. That is it. Thank you so much, Malobo. So today, while I was coming back from church, I was discussing with my friend, and she shared an amazing testimony with me. All right, and I want to share it with you guys. So that is where the rich mindset comes in. So she's learning fashion designing, and she said she did not have the money to buy a sewing machine. You know, you can't learn fashion designing without having your own personal sewing machine, all right? So she was like, she did not have the money, but she had faith in God that she would get her own personal sewing machine before the end of June. Before the end of June. Now, when she said this, she did not have the money anywhere, but she believed, she had that rich mindset that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly. So she said last week Sunday, she just thanked God for her new sewing machine. She was like, God, I thank you because of my new sewing machine. I thank you because you have provided it. Now that is faith. Guess what? On Friday, one of her cousins sent her the money to buy her sewing machine. One of her cousins sent her the money to get her sewing machine because she had faith. She had that mindset, I will get this. And she got it. So you must think high about yourself. Don't ever say, now imagine she said, oh, I cannot afford sewing machine. It's so expensive. I can't afford. That is one thing about poor mindset. It's filled with I cannot, I cannot, I cannot. Any small thing, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I am not this. I am not that. I don't think I can do this. That is a poor mindset. That is a poor mindset. When you have a rich mindset, even if that thing looks difficult, you will tell yourself, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I can do this. So instead of saying, I can't afford this, a rich mindset will say, how do I afford this? Because when you say how, when you ask that question, how do I afford this? Your brain begins to think of different ways, ideas of how to afford that. So that is rich mindset, very important. So if you want to be wealthy, change your mindset from poor to rich, okay? You can do all things. You can do all things. All right, so do we have any questions so far? Question time, we have 5 minutes to go. Question time, do we have any question? Any question? Now is the time to ask your question. Now is the time go ahead, type your question in the comment section, and I will attend to it. Any question? I want to share our Pdac creed so that we can take our Pdac creed. If there is no question, then we will go ahead and take our Pdac creed. Okay, so give me some minutes to share our Pdac creed. All right, so we're going to be taking our Pdac creed. Yeah. All right, no question. All right, so these are our Pdac creed. I want you to repeat after me. Say it with all confidence. Say it with all boldness. I am a Pdac ambassador. I am a child of God. I understand myself. I discover, develop, and unleash my God-given potential. I have strong beliefs and values that guide my actions and decisions. I cultivate good habits and follow principles that lead me to success. I am a confident and inspiring speaker. I dream big dreams, set smart goals, make great plans, and take quick steps to make my dreams come true. I am a great leader. I inspire myself and others to achieve great things. I am excellent in my academics, and I love to learn new things. I believe in myself, and I have a positive self-image. I understand and manage my emotions well, and I am sensitive to others' feelings. I am proud to be a Pdac ambassador and will fulfill my duties with love, respect, excellence, and dedication. So help me God. Amen. All right, that is our Pdac creed, okay? So thank you all for joining today's class. By next Sunday, we will be in a new month and we'll be entering a new series altogether. It's going to be an amazing series, okay? It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it, all right? So thank you all for joining. Thank you all. Do have an amazing and a wonderful new week. And happy new month in advance. Let me be the first to tell you, happy new